because she's young.
I have no problem with her
You
being
were
young.
young once, too, you know.
There's young and there's embryonic.
You're on that stage, and it feels incredibly close. You feel like you can touch the back wall. It feels very, very intimate, and because it's narrow, but it's not too narrow. So it's an ultimately comfortable theater to work in. I love playing that house.
The Samuel J. Friedman, formerly the Biltmore, was designed in 1925 by architect Herbert J. Krapp for construction moguls Irwin and Henry Chanin. Named after a pioneering theatrical press agent, it is owned by the Manhattan Theatre Club, a subscription-based nonprofit dedicated to quality drama.
It's a Tony-eligible theater, just as the other 39 Broadway theaters are. And yet, it has a responsibility as a not-for-profit to be presenting a season of work.
Our identity is a theater company that has been adventurous in introducing to the public many, many writers, many new talents. We are supported to take risks. That's what our mission is, and we take that mission seriously.
In the 1970s, when Lynn Meadow became the artistic director of the MTC and Barry Grove its executive producer, the success of their plays demanded a new strategy.
We started as a very small theater working in a tiny cabaret space. And every move that we made was something that Barry said, I think it's time that we do this.
So we began to look in the late 80s for our own Broadway home. And that search took almost 10 years. And in 2001, we entered into an agreement to rescue the Biltmore Theatre.
Tragically, the Biltmore had been closed for many years, the victim of fire, vandalism, and water damage.
It was in terrible shape. The roof had been left open. Water had been getting in for a decade. It was just a disaster. We basically stripped most everything that was in here, and we actually dug a new basement to create the lower lobby.
They also moved the back wall forward, creating space for new amenities, and added an innovative lighting design.
We put 4 symmetrical cutouts in the dome. And what that allowed was all of the stage lighting that you would normally see hung from pipes all through the house. Instead, we were able to place it up above, so the pristine theater is kind of maintained.
Lynn Meadow conceived the sightlines that would bring about an intimacy with the audience between actors and viewers that is absolutely essential to the Manhattan Theatre Club's productions.
Finally, in 2003, the MTC opened their first theater on Broadway.
Let me congratulate the Manhattan Theatre Club for bringing the Biltmore back to life.
The heyday of the Biltmore Theatre began in the 20s with Mae West and continued on through the 30s and 40s. It became a CBS television studio in the 50s, and then, in 1963, came Robert Redford's breakout performance in Barefoot in the Park, followed by the tribal rock musical, Hair.
And America at that time, and the world at that time, needed that voice. Let us love one another, let us stop war, let us stop poverty. That's what we're saying. And we're still saying it.
The success of the Samuel J. Friedman reflects the philosophy of the Manhattan Theatre Club and the passion of its artists.
We're not out to pick hit plays. We're out to find an urgent voice, writers whose work is compelling to an audience.
So I think there's a spirit of doing something that matters, and that matters more to me than anything.
Your pictures are beautiful.
Thank you.
I don't mean beautiful, I mean,
No, you can
know.
call them beautiful. I think they're beautiful. But then I'm their mother.
Certainly, Laura Linney, something about her ability to play on a couple of layers, levels at the same time. And I think that the set that came out, it celebrated the fact that it could be realistic and not realistic.
Is that even possible?
You know, when you intersect with the theater for the first time, it's just great. It really does. It just completely opens up a world and a community and a philosophy of life. It's really powerful.